Attijariwafa Bank is now, for the last 20 years, expanding into the continent. We're now present in 15 countries, including Morocco. Africa represents 40% of our revenues in 2024. It was 20 years ago. So Africa represents a very important part of our business. We are very focused on Africa. We don't focus in other regions, for sure. That's our DNA, and we are in Africa for the long term. As I said, 15 countries, and we are still expanding into the continent. The last acquisition we've made was in Egypt in 2017. We set up in 2022 a bank in Chad. That was the last one, but we are keeping, we keep a look into potential acquisition and expand our footprint into the continent. When supporting companies, French companies and European companies into the continent, the strategy is based on three pillars. The first one is our network. As I said, we are present in 15 countries as a full-fledged bank, usually number 2 or number 1 or number 3 banks in the local market, offering all the services that a company needs locally, whether it is cash management, financing, FX. So we have that base, and we use our network to support French companies doing business in Africa. In addition to that, we have a team in Paris that is managing the relationship with the big corporates, with the decision-making centers, to be the single window in terms of discussion for the group, so that we can coordinate the relationship on a global basis for Africa. And then we have expertise teams in Casablanca that are specialized and very effective, that are supporting the business as well. We have a big project finance team in Casablanca that is supporting our French customers doing investment, big project on the continent, cash management and FX as well. So that's the the organization that we set up 6 years ago, so that we can support the investment of the French companies into the continent. In addition to that, and this is a new, many international banks have decided to leave Africa for many reasons. But we are, as I said, our DNA is a long-term view on the continent. We do believe that the continent, is a continent of growth, so that we support the development of the continent. And there is another angle to this. We are supporting the exporters, the European and French exporters into the continent, using our legal vehicle in Europe. We do confirm their letter of credits. We do discount their letter of credit so that they can better manage the African risk in their books. So that's how basically we support the French companies doing business into the continent. The non-financial support is, from our point of view, very important. So what we've done, a couple of years ago, we set up a development initiative, Africa Development Initiative, from Casablanca to help not only the French companies and the European companies doing business in Africa, but to help African companies to do business with other African companies in the continent. So we set up a forum. The 7th of those forums was done in Casablanca this year in June. And what we did, we grouped together international companies and African companies, about 2,000 of them, for 2 days. for them to be able to meet all together. There was about 6,000 B2B meetings altogether. They had the opportunity to meet with the governments, some African governments present in that forum. And so that's a very important initiative. It's not a financial initiative, but from our point of view, it's the best way we can help the continent, the private sector in the continent, to grow its business altogether. Signed the MOU a couple of years ago. It's going to be renewed, I think, with the visit of Mr. Macron when he's going to be in Morocco at the end of the month. Yes, you've talked about Euro Equity, which is a very important tool for our SMEs, customers in Morocco, because they can access not only to companies in France with whom they can do business, but they can access to e-learning. So it's a very useful web platform for our customers. We do work as well with BPI France in co-financing transactions in Morocco and in Africa. Not enough from our perspective, but
not enough.
we'll try to do better,
of course,
if we can. And I think this is where we are. And we are discussing as well in seeing how we can address the SMEs, the French SMEs that would like to invest in Africa and are not do not have the possibility to talk to their banks because their banks have left the continent. So this is something that we're going to discuss and
it's something very important.
That we're going to discuss together
possibility for companies.
In a couple of weeks, so that we can have a specific program to be addressed for the French SMEs.
Okay, thank you. So we have only 2 minutes and a little bit more. I would just like to give as a conclusion that the partnerships extend our possibilities, the possibilities that we can give, at least for us, for French companies, but for each of you in other continents also, for your companies, to interact, to create, to better know our ecosystems, which is very important also.
Africa is seen as a difficult and risky continent. That's true, but some countries are less risky than others. And if you rely on a good banking partner, I talk, from myself, on my side, of course, but you need, there are business to do. So don't be afraid by Africa and look at it positively.